The best budget upgradable gaming PC for 2025. Or is it? The intention of this video is not for you to duplicate the build, but to give you insights on my thought process behind the build. The main objectives of this build are quite straightforward. It should be able to play AAA titles at 1080p, be a good editing machine, have a clear upgrade path for the next 5 years at least, look decent so that I can keep it on my desk and not below it, and most importantly, not break the bank. I will also include the prices for everything in the PC as picked on the offline market. As we go through the build, please remember that it may not necessarily be the cheapest build, but a base investment which will last for a long time. Glance through these products in the build, and if you have a keen eye, you will notice one critical component missing. Don't worry, we will get to it. The most important of any build, most often looked over, is the UPS. It not only gives you extra time during a power failure, but also protects your precious investment. This is a basic 1 kVA UPS from PowerSafe. It has an on-off button along with a reset button. At the back, 3 power sockets which take care of the PC itself, monitor and a power strip for peripherals. Next in line of importance is of course the power supply. I have chosen a 750 watt Cooler Master MWE V2. A small hint, when choosing a power supply, just Google power supply tire list to find a good quality power supply. Don't just go with the rating, although this is a 80+ gold. The power supply itself is fully modular and has all the cables you require. They are flat and black, which will not cause an eyesore in your build, especially since the case is transparent. 750 watts is definitely overkill for this build. A 550 watt would do just fine. But you wouldn't want to spend extra when you upgrade, would you? To shove this build in is the Ant Esports Crystal X7. This case has its positives and negatives as well. If you're used to building in premium cases, this one will feel a little bit underwhelming and adequate at the same time. It has got notches for cable ties at the right places. The glass is clear and of good quality, and at the same time, panel gaps. It's got an awesome magnetic dust filter on top, and more importantly, one at the bottom. Touches like these make an okay case into one which I can see myself using for the rest of the life of the PC. The motherboard of choice was the MSI B650M plus Wi-Fi. So you might have guessed, we are going the AMD way. A no-brainer in 2025.
मेरे पास कोई अल्फाज नहीं है, मुझे माफ कर दे आप लोग सारे, मुझे छुट्टी दे दें.
In the box, you get a Wi-Fi antenna and beneath the board a single SATA cable. Remember, it is called the mother board for a reason. I had budgeted around 15k for the board, which fell within the budget. But more importantly, it offers you value. Remember, upgradability. It has got 10-phase VRMs with functional heatsinks. They are not just covers. 4 RAM slots, SATA inputs, a couple of ARGB and RGB inputs, a fixed good-looking I/O shield with plenty of I/O, and 2 Gen 4 M.2 slots with heatsinks. I also particularly like the retro gaming graphics on the heatsinks. At this point, you'd wonder why not AM4, but AM5. True, a AM4 build would be cheaper by around 12 to 15k, but the focus here is on upgradability as well. AM5 support has been promised well into 2027, which gives us an option to plonk in a Ryzen 7 or even a current gen Ryzen 9 in the future with this motherboard. Which is a great segue into our processor of choice, Ryzen 5 7600 Non-X. It is a 6-core 12-thread CPU just like the X version. At stock speeds, the X version is faster, but the difference is very small at boost clocks, which according to me is not worth the extra 3000 rupees spent. In addition, the 7600 runs at a non-boosted TDP of 65 watt versus the 105 watt of the 7600X, which means a big yearly savings on your electricity bill. Also, I wouldn't have to buy an extra cooler as the 7600 comes with the stock Wraith cooler. Looks basic with a good finish and heatsink paste is already applied. Big mistake, you will have to get a third-party cooler for this. I will probably explain this in the next video. For the RAM, a couple of ADATA XPG Lancer 16GB sticks. 2 sticks obviously because of the dual channel mode. For an AMD build, it is important to get 6000 MHz sticks with CL30. As per my knowledge, this latency gives you the best performance. In addition, RGB. What's the point of a gaming PC without RGB today, right? Next is another important component, storage. ADATA XPG S70 Blade 2TB. Surprisingly, this is a great SSD with DRAM at a budget. Could you imagine that? Again, to make your pick, Google SSD tire list. Excellent speeds, excellent value, period. Also importantly for me, no fixed heat sinks so that I could use my motherboard heat sinks. And now it is time for the elephant in the room. My choice of GPU, NVIDIA 4060. The cheapest decent graphics card I could get new with decent performance. It outperforms the Radeon 7600, and for me the extra price of the 7600 XT was not worth it, as for the last few years I exclusively do not play AAA titles. I seriously believe that the best choice of GPU is your current budget and what is currently available. I picked this build on January 15th, a few days after CES 25. I would have thought about Intel's B580, but was it available? No. Wait for the 5060? I am sure by the time I publish this, there will be no sign of it. So that means one will keep waiting for the next best thing around the corner. Just take the plunge if you have made up your mind. Which leaves us only with the I/O. For the keyboard, I picked up this Anti-Sports MK3400. However, I had to return it since it gave me problems from day one. Not dissing on the brand, I am using the MK3200 with blue switches for the last 1 year. But this particular experience has left me that bad taste in the mouth. So I replaced it immediately with an expensive mechanical option. For the mouse, I picked the trusty Logitech 203 LightSync. It's the same as the Logitech 102, which I have been using for years, with a slightly better mouse wheel. In performance, it beats a lot of very expensive mice on a budget. Remember that this is a machine to game at 1080p. So this LG 144Hz monitor is here to do the job. Comes with AMD FreeSync. It has a sturdy stand which allows the monitor to move up and down and also tilt all the way to its side. In addition, at the back, DisplayPort, HDMI along with power and audio out sockets. Link to everything I have picked in the description. I hope this helped you in building your dream new buy. Any questions are always welcome in the comments.